Welcome back to the show. My guest today is Jake Sevcik. Jake, thank you for being here.
Yeah,
I appreciate it. Thanks for taking time out of your day to evening to come and do this.
No worries. Thanks for having me on.
You are one of my best friends, for sure. Absolutely. I would tell anybody and everybody that you absolutely are one of my best friends. Do you want to tell the story of how we met or how you think we met?
Yeah, I mean, so the golf, I mean, is basically what brought us together, right?
Okay.
I remember seeing you just like I was getting really excited to go to St. Ambrose. I was looking everyone up on social media, just like kind of on a team website. And I remember seeing you as like one of the top players at St. Ambrose. So I remember like getting excited, kind of following your scores, trying to like be part of the team without even being part of the team. Things happened. I decided not to go to St. Ambrose for the first 2 years of my school career, but went for my junior and senior year. There was a tournament I was playing at in Viterbo, and we ran into each other. And I remember talking to Nick, who I was really close with, and I think I made a kind of a fool out of myself because I was like, "You like how'd you guys play?" And you said what you guys shot, but I had like you guys asked me first, and I was like, I shot like 76, and everyone's like, "Well, shit this kid."
Okay. Played like shot 76. Great.
Yeah, and everyone was like, oh, "Okay, screw this kid."
Yeah.
But then really we got put in like a group chat. We're gonna be roommates with a bunch of other people, and then things happened where it was just me and you, and then we got paired with these two random people. And I think the first time we met was kind of when we moved in with each other. So
my side of that, you had the intention of coming to St. Ambrose, where I went to school, and ended up going to Kirkwood, which great for you.
Right.
And everyone on the team knew about it. So our coach was very much like, hey, he was going to come to St. Ambrose. Hey, everyone, go introduce yourself, say hello, like just be nice to him type of thing. And once coach kind of walked away, we all looked at each other and went, kick his ass. Like, go beat the shit out of him on the golf course, not in real life, on the golf course. And I don't think we did that. I will pull up the scores and put them right here to see exactly how well we did. I don't remember. It was years ago.
I don't remember either. I just remember talking to and I remember him saying his score after me, and I was like, oh, I shouldn't have said I played like that, bro.
That course up in La Crosse, Wisconsin, at Viterbo University, is that what it is?
Yeah.
University of, I don't know, anyway. La Crosse Country Club?
I think that's what it was.
Something like that. Is a great course. I love that golf course.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite golf courses. But yeah, so that was the first interaction we had, was at that event. And then my first year of grad school, which was also your junior year of college.
Yep.
We were roommates with two other guys, one other golfer, one football player, and that was a great time. That was where we bonded heavily.
For sure.
Heavily beyond just golf and like proximity, but we became close out of that group of four.
For sure.
So it was anything from going out, drinking, having people over, playing video games. There was one point where we had 3 monitors set up, gaming monitors, a monitor, a TV, and a monitor, and we were all 3 gaming with each other next to one another. It was hilarious. So it was a good time.
Obviously, going to Kirkwood didn't really get the like dorm experience. I mean, I lived with my parents, so if you can call them, I mean, they're not college students by any means. The way they celebrated.
They behave that way sometimes, though.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but no, I do remember, like, Kirkwood exhausted me from a golf standpoint.
Yeah.
And then like the energy you had and the energy I had about golf, I think was relatively the same. Mm-hmm. There were some people on the team who probably cared more about it than I did at that point, and then a lot of people who didn't care as much as us.
There was a lot of people who cared less.
And I think that was good. Like, I think you and we'd go practice out by ourselves. Yep. I think we got better with each other. And yeah, like you said, we bonded more than ever. And you said the same, friendship thing, and I would agree with that 100%.
And we pushed each other. So we had the same hobbies, we had the same interests, and I don't know, we just got along great in that aspect. And so we pushed each other with like, let's go to the gym, let's go sit in an ice bath, let's go sit in a sauna, let's go get dinner, we'd eat together, we'd go work out together, we'd go practice together, we'd go to the dome, inside golf, whatever you want to call it. It was an inside golf practice area for the winter. We'd go there. We pushed hard for our school to get a simulator, a launch monitor, and they finally did, which is wonderful. I think it was a big pull for them to get that.
Yeah.
And we would push each other to go do that. Just you and me. We're going to go into the gym arena, drop the nets, set the whole thing up, pull the mats out, get the launch monitor set up, and just you and me for like 2 hours.
Yeah.
Just hit golf balls and grind and figure out the numbers. And it was great. So not only were we teammates for that year, but the year following, I was your assistant coach on that team. So it went from a teammate bonding to a coach player bonding, which was still like, I have my preferential treatment on you because it was such a friendship. But even when we disagreed, it was like, it wasn't an argument. I don't think we ever like fought. We had some stressful times, but it was like stressful because of the stressful moment. Right. It wasn't because you and I had stress. And so everything kind of got resolved easily, I feel like, which is always a good thing. Whereas some other people on the team, I just didn't necessarily like that much. And I would be a coach. I'd be nice to them. I'd be helpful to them. But it just, I also didn't know them that well. Like I didn't take the time to get to know them. And I think that's a big thing that you definitely should do is, what's the quote? Seek to understand before being understood or something like that.
100%.
And so I should have taken the time out. Had I gone back now with the brain that I have, I would go back and take more time out to become friends and closer with those other teammates and those other players that I just didn't do back then because I was a dumb child at the time.
I mean, I think we all were, especially in college. Like serious relationships. Yeah. Like we thought we had it all figured out. We thought we knew what we were doing. So we're like, what's the point in putting in the extra effort to go meet other people?
Right.
And that's like my biggest regret. So
I've said it on the show before, but I haven't told you necessarily. But a good thought to have, or a quote kind of, is you're the oldest you've ever been today.
Yeah.
So it's not your birthday, but it's your oldest day. Mm-hmm. You're 26 and a half, 20, whatever it is, and you're the oldest you've ever been. So you think you're the wisest you've ever been. So you think you know everything that you need to know, and you're just shit. Meanwhile, you're 20, 21, 19, whatever you are in college, and you don't know anything about the world, about life, about finding yourself, about even what you want in life.
Right.
You're real dumb. But I think it's in those times when you are a 21-year-old, you're the oldest you've ever been, but you're still a child. And you should be a child. You should go have fun. You should go goof around. You should go get in trouble. You have no real obligations or liabilities or anything at risk. Go. Yeah. Go have fun. Just go. If you're having fun, if you're making a memory, go do that thing.
Right.
Don't be so stressed out about school and girls and finding a job, and it'll all work out.
100%.
It's fine.
Buff.
It's life is not as hard as they want you to believe when you're in school. I feel like when you're in school, in high school and college, they make it out to be like, you have to do this or you're going to fail. You have to pass this class or you're going to fail in life, or you're going to be homeless, or you won't get a job if you fail your algebra class. It's like, don't stress. Do good in school, have good grades, do your best, but like, don't freak out about 100%. School and it's all, nothing matters in the end. It really doesn't matter. Your degree in the school that you went to is just a name on a resume at some point. Like, you might get connections from it, but nobody really cares in the real world.
Right.
So we're here in Denver. We're live in Denver. They're not live when they're saying it, but we're live in Denver. This will not be a live podcast. This is way too chaotic to be a live podcast. We're live in Denver, downtown Denver with you. Thankfully for you. Thank you very much for allowing me to stay with you.
Yeah.
It's been a great time. We're 3 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 3 days into this 5-day trip, and it's great.
Yeah.
I love it. We've played 2 rounds of golf. We did high-speed go-kart races. I played on your flag football team for the day. Blew my knee out, but we're thriving, guys. We're having a good time.
Rockies
But
game, UFC
Rockies
fights.
game, UFC fights, nightlife. Thank you. I forgot about that. It's been a fun time. It's been a lot. There's a lot going on, but it's been a very, very fun time for my first time in Denver.
For sure.
So
Hopefully
thank
it's yeah, no worries. I appreciate it. I'm thankful you got to come out. Got some more golf courses lined up and a great
Yes.
concert coming up tomorrow.
Yes.
But no, like to me, I'm trying to push you to come to Denver. And the biggest reason is my sister kind of told me this. She's like, you're gonna be broke. Might as well be broke somewhere fun.
Yeah.
And nothing against Iowa. I mean, Iowa's a great place to be from, but experience as much as you can while you're younger. And so that's why I'm
Absolutely.
pushing a lot of people to get out of here. I love Denver. Great way to meet people. I mean, I have yet to meet a person from Denver. I think
Yeah.
I've met a few, but
Yeah.
no, it's a great place to be. I love it.
Also, what's a year out of your life? Go
No.
move somewhere for a year. Lock in
Exactly.
for a year lease or a year whatever. And worst case, you move back to where you were and you figured out back.
I will always be there for you. Once you start having like kids, a wife, I don't know any of that feels like,
Yeah.
but once
Go
you have
make-
that, you have all that stress. Like
Go make the memories. Go have the experiences.
100%.
And I'm considering it. Okay.
No, you're doing
I'm
it.
not saying no. I'm considering it. But I got more places to check out.
That's fair. That's fair.
So we'll see before I settle down here.
We'll get you out here as much as possible.
I'll look into it. I will look into it. But I will be out here plenty of times.
For sure.
Okay, let's get in. So a thing that we do on this podcast, as the viewers know, it's a game called How Deep Will You Go? It's not a game. It's just conversation topic cards
For sure.
to help open conversation. 3 different levels. As each level progresses, the cards get deeper, supposedly. I don't think that's true. I think they're all just difficult questions. Sometimes they're introspective. Sometimes they're just difficult questions to answer. And it just makes you think in a different way than just normal conversations would get you to think.
Awesome. Let's do it.
So I'm going to pull out 3 cards. In the meantime, I'm going to play the video just so that you are familiar with what's going on. They will see the video here.
About 100 million people have seen me laying with 2 girls I don't know and playing a game with them. Well, the game is this, but first, there's a backstory. 3 years ago, me and my friends started this series where we would go to colleges and ask a series of deep questions. The goal was to open up a side of them they never show, and people from all over started asking for the questions, so we made it a game. The game consists of 3 levels to get people to open up. Level 1 breaks the ice, but it hits a little harder than your traditional icebreakers. Level 2 is confessions. It reveals a side of you that you kinda wanna let out, but you never really get the chance to. Level 3 gives you the keys to unlock the part of you hide from the world, but it does it in a way that feels natural, so you can actually learn about someone else so they can get to know the real you too.
All right, so that's the game.
Love it.
We will again. Well, it's we'll pull one of each level and a wild card, so 4 cards total. We'll flip the first right away, and as the conversation goes on, we will flip more as time comes.
Sounds perfect.
Work?
I'm excited.
Okay. Level 1 is icebreakers. Pick one of these. Leave it face down. I just set it down in front of you. Level 2, confessions. Whatever you want. And level 3, getting deep. And 1 wild. Okay, so let's go ahead and pull level 1 first. See what we got.
You want me to do it?
Yeah, flip level 1.
All right. What is something specific you're grateful for and why?
Something I'm grateful for is and I think I mentioned this on the last podcast, is the deep friendship connections that I have. I have very few.
Yeah.
There are very few people in my life that I would call very close friends or best friends. You are in the best friends category. Congratulations.
Thank you.
There are a handful of people who are in that like very, very deep. They know a lot about me. I can go to them for anything and they will have my back or they will be there to support me. And I am very, very happy and thankful to have them in my life. And all of them in one way or another, whether they know it or not, has been a huge, I don't know how to say this, a huge key in like my mental health. So there have been times that happen rather often that I uh, have like a mental breakdown, like twice a year, like clockwork.
Yeah.
And I just freak out and need somebody to just like vent to about anything and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it's about random stuff. Sometimes it's about the golf climate that's currently happening. Sometimes it's about the economy. Sometimes it's about just anything. And I just freak out and I go down this like YouTube rabbit hole about this topic or an Instagram rabbit hole. And I get lost and I freak out and I can call these people, you, Eric, one of my friends, Logan, a couple other people who will just understand and listen and go, all right, so now what? It's like, okay, you good? Cool.
Yeah.
Now back to the topic. But like, so I think I have a lot of acquaintances, surface level friends. They're friends. We're friendly.
Mm-hmm.
We're nice to one another. I would say the friends that we met, I'm now friends. We're friends,
100%.
but we're not like you and I friends.
No, I get that.
I'm very, very thankful for having those connections in my life.
No, I mean, I think that's great. When it comes to friendships, I don't know who said this or where I got it, but it's like, would you rather have 4 quarters or 100 pennies? When it comes to friends. So like, I know
Yeah.
my sister
That's a great
especially, she has a bunch of like friends. And she's like, I mean, she's a bad example. I know there's people who are like, I'd rather have like 100 friends, because I feel like I'm more like outgoing.
Yeah.
But like you said, and I think you're one of these people where like I'd rather have 4 close friends or however, like a small group of friends where you actually ask those hard questions and it's not like fake.
Yeah.
And they're always there for you. Like I know, same thing with you, where mental health has become pretty predominant and a big push for me. And I feel like when it comes to that, like having people you can call up,
Yeah.
and like no judgment zone is big.
Never.
But yeah, I mean, that was probably gonna be my answer.
Sorry, I took your answer.
No, you're good.
You can riff off of that. That's fine. It
no.
can be your answer.
You're good. I mean, I would honestly like. I have a tattoo on me. It says "family over everything," but it says it in Czechoslovakian, so it says "Rodina Všecno."
Why is it Czechoslovakian?
Very close family ties to the Czech heritage.
Is that where Sevcik comes from?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we were actually the No Sex when they came over to the U.S., but No Sex apparently is a funny name, so people didn't call us that, so they changed it to Sevcik.
Try me.
Exactly.
We're the Ticklers.
Yeah, exactly. That's fair. Tichlers. You just gotta say it weird or something. But no, I mean, I think close friendships, and I would also say my dad. Still to this day, best friend.
Yeah.
I'm very fortunate to have him. We text daily. There was a time when I was going through some shit, and he was like, "You're not texting me. Like, what's up?" And he's like just the type of person that I can be honest and genuine with. As I've gotten older, he's the person that I feel like I talk to the most. Nothing against the rest of my family. I mean, I'm really close with all of my family, but he especially is like the person that like we have each other on like golf apps and we're like following each other's rounds and like we genuinely care about each other.
Yeah.
And so I'm very grateful, thankful, whatever you want to call it that.
I was wondering if you were going to say friends or your dad, because I know you, like you already said, your dad is basically your best friend. You told me that when we moved in together in that apartment. You're like, oh, yeah, my dad's like my best friend.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't raise me as I'm his son, he's my dad. He's like, no, we're friends.
No, yeah. I mean, he taught me everything.
And you're the third child. Like, it's not like you're the firstborn or an only child where, like, it's that like, only child connection. Like, you're the third kid. You are the only boy.
Yeah.
But you're the third kid, and he's like, we're best friends, dude.
Well, so like funny story, my mom hates me for this, but when I was growing up, she'd be like, oh, who's your favorite parent? I'd be like, I love dad just this much more. And she would get so pissed off. I mean, she knew I was a kid, so she was like laughing it off, but no, I love them both equally, but like I said, my dad definitely is like the life coach that I go to whenever I have stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
So
your dad's super cool.
Yeah.
Also, I love your dad.
Yeah,
Your
my
dad's
dad,
awesome.
my dad is pretty cool. It's funny because like we'd come play poker at my house, and my dad would deal cards for us, and he had a kid, or my parents had a kid at 18. Got married at 18 and 19, so they really didn't get the chance to. And this is just me putting my own opinion on it. They really didn't get a chance to live it up like maybe I have or anyone else has. I don't think I've lived it up anyways. So like he's still a 12-year-old at heart.
I could not imagine what my life would be like if I had a kid at 18.
I mean,
I was so dumb at 18. I'm dumb now, but I was so dumb at 18.
100%.
That I can't imagine having a kid now, and I'm 28. Like I don't know what I'd do now if I had a kid.
No, it's fucking wild. My dad's like, yeah, I went to my high school graduation, and a week later I was at my wedding.
Yeah. So when it's like, yeah, it's I can't even think about that. That's
No, I mean,
crazy.
100%. Like the quarters and pennies, I feel like he's my biggest quarter.
That's a great analogy,
And I love it. Like,
and it's the value you have in those friendships.
100%. And like,
They're not worth pennies; they're worth quarters.
Yeah.
4 quarters, 25. Like it's a way bigger value in that friendship than 100 pennies.
Yeah.
That's a great analogy.
and like I always thought about this too. Like when you're at a wedding and you have 4 close friends, they're like, you look at like a bridesmaids party or whatever. Like
Mhm.
when you're having conversations with people, it's so disingenuous because you're moving on to the next person. But if you have like a short group of people and you're just
Yeah.
getting that genuine connection, it's massive.
That's great when people have like massive weddings and massive wedding parties of like 10 and 10, but it's like now you're inviting like your second cousin and your like college roommate's friend, and it's like, what? Who are you? Like I would have a wedding with 3 or 4 groomsmen.
Yeah.
And I would hope that my wife at that time would have the same idea, but
No, I get that.
like 2 or 3 is even fine by me. Like,
No.
and they're all best men. No one's above one another.
No, I get that.
It's like I don't have 10 people I would invite to do that right now.
Right.
Like I wouldn't even know who to invite. I
Yeah.
know 4 names that I was like, yeah, you're coming.
Yeah.
That's about it.
No, I mean, I think that's funny too because like for me, when I like meet people, I instantly know like, is this a long-term friend? Like I knew right when I met you, like this was a long-term friend. And like by that I mean like he's gonna get to know me and he's not gonna fuck me over. And stuff like that, where like you meet people and like you enjoy their company, but you know like in 2 years you probably won't talk to them.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'd rather have those conversations where I know exactly what you're doing. I mean, that sounds creepy.
No, but like you know what's going on in my life.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, and I don't have to like look at social media to know. I know you know because
Exactly.
we're talking.
Exactly. And I hope so. You're one of the people who, when something happens in my life, I will text you first.
Yeah.
I texted you, I'm starting a podcast. You're like, great, cool. Let me know how I can help. When can I be on? I texted 2 other people. Hey, I'm doing this. This is my plan. I created the logo at the beginning of the episode that I immediately got so excited. I called you. I was like, I have a thing and it's real now. Like this is awesome and it's real. And you're like, great. Like you were one of the 3 or 4 people I called right away to go, I know it's midnight, but you have to check us out. Like,
No, I mean, you're an hour ahead, so it wasn't midnight for
yeah,
me,
not
but
for you, but I called my friend on the East Coast. It was like,
making
what are you
logos though,
doing?
man, it's a lot of fun. When I started making my logo for growth,
yeah, we'll talk about that here in a
I
second.
mean, we will, but that was probably the
Fun
most fun
time.
I've had. Just
Being creative.
yeah, you're putting your stamp on something.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm not a creative person at all, but I was pretty proud of that thing.
Yeah. Let's get into that. So you started or have been a part of starting 2 different businesses.
Yeah.
The first one was the athlete connection thing. What was that called?
It's called Fanblitz.
Is that still around, Fan Blitz?
So I didn't help start it, but I was helping him create it.
You
It
were
is-
helping with the creator. though.
Yeah. So I've always had this like idea, especially when NIL came to fruition.
Yeah.
It's funny because I would not have made any money in college, but that's beside the fact. But
We could have nickel and dimed it our way around.
yeah, I mean like $5 to see
Maybe a
Jake
local
Sevcik playing,
commercial or something.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, we were on like some news broadcasts for national championships.
That's true.
We were in the paper a couple of times. Like I was in the paper a lot in high school because I was a small town and I was a good golfer for that small town.
Right.
So I was in that paper a lot. I had 2 video interviews for whatever reason. I was so young and dumb. I was not good back then either. I had a radio interview. And then a ton of like newspaper interviews and mentions and photos and stuff. So there could have been some NIL money back then had that been around.
Right.
But we hosted the national championship, so we were a part of it. Sorry, we qualified for the national championship, so we were in it, and it was happened to be hosted at our venue,
Helps.
and so we were like big news to host the national championship and be a part of it.
Right.
And so we had some news interviews and some paper interviews and that sort of thing. And I feel like we could have gotten some maybe high V
I think
sponsorship
we would
in
have
a
been like
commercial or
the
some
people
bars.
washing the cars outside of Hy-Vee. I would have loved to do that.
Yeah.
No.
I think there could have been some NIL, like, I don't know, $7 worth of NIL money back then. But I think there could have been some value in it for us. But that, anyway, back to your story. So
No, you're
NIL,
good.
before the NIL, name, image, and likeness for people who don't know, where athletes can get paid for their name, image, and likeness. Continue. Sorry.
No, yeah, I mean, that's spot on. Once that came to fruition, I just knew there's a lot of athletes who wouldn't be able to promote themselves.
Mhm.
And I was trying to create like a,
managerial.
not managerial, but more of like a LinkedIn for athletes where people
Okay.
could be like, I want to connect with this person, or I want to help this person, or I want to help this team. And I had that idea, went to one of my buddies, was like, hey, like, you're an entrepreneur, like, do you want to do this with me, or do you know anyone that wants to do it? And he's like, I have this perfect guy who actually just talked to me about this. Put him in touch. Tyson, Tyson's his name, and we went ahead and just started talking about it. And I've been just kind of helping on the side. He's doing a lot of things, trying to push it. He's doing a lot of things, other business ventures. He's a smart dude,
Yeah.
very creative dude, very exciting dude. So I know he's gonna do great things. But yeah, that was one of the first things I was doing, helping him out, and then. To get into I'm guessing what your next question is going to be is growth financial.
Yeah.
Um,
So you went to school for finance, right?
Yeah.
Accounting and finance and all that kind of money managerial type of stuff.
right.
So you started a financial management company.
Yeah. So I mean,
The partner.
I worked at this company, and we would do small business consulting, fractional CFO work. I mean, it goes by multiple names. And we were doing really small businesses that we were helping with, which was like $10, $20, $30, $40,000 a month.
Mhm.
We were also helping clients that were making up to $2 million a month. And where I really found the most enjoyment was getting hands-on in those businesses that were like 400 to $2 million a month, because I could
Yeah.
get really hands-on, really build out this cool shit with them. And so kind of as dominoes fell, one of my old coworkers, he and I decided to start our own business, kind of doing the same thing. Actually doing the same thing, but with getting more involved than the last company was. And it was awesome. It was great. I really like not just working for one company itself. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not just helping Amazon make more money. I'm helping all these small businesses that I truly believe in get bigger,
Right.
get better, and make more money. And
And
make
so
sure,
you played the role of the CFO for those small companies that didn't necessarily have that many employees who,
for sure.
like a department for finance or a department for accounting who would take care of all that. So you would step in as a third party and just analyze their books and say, hey, you're wasting money here. You have the growth opportunity.
That's the name, yeah.
You have the growth opportunity here. And just suggest certain things or just break it down for them.
Break it down. I mean, a lot of businesses starting up, the owner's wearing 15 different hats. They're the marketing
Yeah.
director, the finance director.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, exactly. No, I learned that real quick doing my own thing. And so really helping them understand the finances, putting down their actual numbers. Some people just are like, oh, my bank account grew. I must have made money last month.
Yeah.
And it's really like, no, this is why you made money. And I also think we're like therapists, because I've seen over 60 businesses that I've helped do really well, do really bad. And I've seen what does well, what does bad, and just
Yeah.
like coaching them through that.
Yeah.
And really helping them make sense of everything.
Yeah.
But mostly from the finance side of things.
So our brains, yours and mine, as you already know, my brain works in mysterious ways. You know that too. We have two very different minds. So you're very numbers, stats, like analysis.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm more of the creative. Like even when
sure.
it comes down to golf, I feel like you are like, what's the yardage? Okay, that's a perfect 79% wedge for me. Like
No,
you're
100%.
like, okay, it's here, and it's like you just nail it. And in my head, I have the same yardage, and I go, what do I see this doing?
Right.
What is the wind gonna do? What is the lie gonna do? What do I feel? And I'm very more creative. Like I just have a creative brain,
Mhm.
hence the show. But
I mean,
so you're the finance world is great for you because I feel like that's great for you. I worked a little bit. I did some marketing consulting
Yeah.
for some people for some businesses. That just something where I felt they were missing an opportunity. They were lacking in this direction. And I just straight up emailed the company, and I was like, it was kind of meant to be like an interview for a job, but it turned out to just be a consulting kind of role, where I just gave them all my pitches and they used them. So if you'd like to pay me for that, that'd be
Free
great.
advertisement, baby.
But they took my advice. They took my recommendations as to how they could promote more, and they're doing significantly more advertising, marketing, social media, and I would assume better business because they're doing exactly what I told them to do.
Right.
Now, they may have been going in that direction anyway, and that's why they just kind of kicked me out the door, because they already knew that. But you can look at the dates from when I was there and from when their first social media post going in this direction was. I'll tell you what the brand was. I'll bleep it out for them. But the company, the golf company, makes some, I would say, high quality, low budget golf clubs, golf equipment. They make some great stuff at a very cheap price point. They're very much the entry level golf option. I went to them mainly looking for a job, like right out of college, kind of promoting like, hey, I have these ideas. I think we could work together. I would like to incorporate them into your business. And I came in, I toured their warehouse. I sat down with the vice president of sales, or the vice president of the company. We talked for 2 hours. And just about him, about me, about golf, about life, about the company, about marketing, all this stuff. And you can go back and look at the dates from when I was there and when their first social media post, and it was like 3 months apart. And they started doing exactly. So I said, why are you not sending equipment to the third-party reviewers, the My Golf Spies of the world, the YouTube reviewers, Rick Shields, who's the other guy? Who's Rick's buddy?
Oh,
I feel so
Rick's
bad.
buddy.
Anyway, the YouTube reviewers of the world who get millions of views per video.
Right.
And all you have to do is send them a club and you will get millions of views onto your product.
Right.
Why are you not doing that? I've never seen one of your pieces of equipment, clubs, anything, be sent to these third-party reviewers or the YouTube demo test people. And they said, because that doesn't work. Nobody cares about that.
Right.
And I go, are you joking? Rick Shields is probably the biggest name in golf, in YouTube golf.
Yeah, 100%.
In social media golf. My Golf Spy is one of the highest quality third-party testers, unbiased. They do not take marketing money. They do not take money from any equipment manufacturers at all. Why are you not sending them product to test to show how good? If you back your product so well, why don't you send it to them and prove it? Oh, there might be a reason behind that then. And then sure enough, they started sending their stuff and it was ranking really well. And it actually ranked in the top category for budget, and I think it was in third of overall quality, accuracy, distance, forgiveness, all that sort of feel, sound, all that sort of stuff. And so they've benefited significantly by doing this.
Right.
And I feel like I told them to do it, but I feel like I came to them with the idea to push them to go. You need to do this. Everyone else is doing this. You have to do this.
Yeah.
I didn't get paid, of course. I didn't get hired either, obviously.
So you started your own business.
so I am a third-party marketing consultant. If anybody needs some advice, but I feel like I have all these ideas, these creative ideas, and things that would help businesses in general. And I've always been told that too, that like I have that kind of creative side, and I think that kind of shows a little bit.
No, 100%.
You actually followed through and created your own business and did a thing with it, and I just kind of like sent some ideas some people's way.
I mean, yeah, it's crazy because it has been a year since it started. Didn't think I was gonna be doing this when I graduated college. That's for sure. But yeah, I mean, like for me, small businesses, we have like the saying like fire the C-suite, where we have so much more insight because if you hire like a CFO, he only can see that one business and have that insight on that one business. Where we're helping out 12 businesses that might be in the same horizontal like network as you, but
Yeah.
not actually competing against you. So we know what's going to work and what's not going to.
Right.
And so that's been instrumental, I think, for a lot of the company's growth is having our insight, having worked with other people. So they might be like a advertising agency for chiropractors, and then we have advertising agency for like home builders or something, or
Yeah.
roofers or something like
Yeah.
that. And so we know what's going to work or what's not going to work generally.
Yeah.
So we're like, C-suites are pointless. Get like a
Yeah.
fractional person that can provide insight that you would
Especially for those small businesses who don't have like a large fund to hire those people.
get. Right.
Like just get a third party in and have them look at it. That's
Exactly.
great. Being a financial person, being a financial degree and in finance, whatever, is there anything that you would recommend, 1 or 2 or 3 or 10 things to recommend to like kids? I say kids because you're children out of college. Is advice or like general practice that they should do better or avoid, like stop spending money on OnlyFans, or like don't pay for Tinder premium?
I mean,
like what's your
You gotta find love somehow, right? We've all
What's
paid for
your-
Hinge.
Not sponsored by Tinder.
Yeah, exactly.
What's your recommendation if you have one for those kids our age or
For
they're
sure.
that age?
No, for sure. I think the biggest thing is tracking your finances. I mean, it was something I really didn't do, but once we did it for our businesses, I was like, I can do this as a personal level. So there's like apps out there for free that you can basically track how your money's going, and you can be like, wow, I spent $10,000. And that's obvious.
You spent a lot of money on.
You spent a lot of money on meals or like
Amazon products.
eating out, going to Amazon, Starbucks. And it really just like is like you mentally start budgeting that way. Because like the more transactions you have, the more work it's going to do to track it. So you're kind of like subconsciously like, I don't want to have to do this.
Yeah.
Because like the thing is with like cash, you have cash in your hand and you give it away.
Yeah.
You feel like you've lost something in return, getting something.
Yeah.
You tap your debit card now, your credit card, like you don't even feel like you bought anything. You're like, I just did something.
Yeah.
And
You
so
tapped for 1 second and now you just have the thing.
yeah. And so like going to like the grocery store or whatever it may be, you start realizing, okay, like I don't want to have to categorize all these transactions that I'm making, or I don't want to have to look and be like, wow, I spent $10,000 on Starbucks this year. So you slowly start like pulling back a little bit, and just tracking your money, not just looking at your bank account. I do recommend looking at that just to make sure. But it's definitely comes down to like, just tracking your money, seeing where it's going, and you'll open a lot of your perspective and start saving money. And then the other thing is patience. People think they can make money overnight. They can't. If they could, everyone would be doing it. Day traders, 99% of day traders lose money. So it's like, don't day trade, just be conservative, or not be conservative, but always be long-term thinking. When it comes to like a purchase, don't be rash.
Right.
You see something on Amazon, you're like, I want this. I need it now. No, put it in your cart, come back the next day and see if you actually need it.
Yeah.
And things like that, where you're just being more
Stop impulse buying.
Impulse buying is the worst.
Yeah.
And if you go to the grocery store, I mean, if you're on a tight budget, have a list and don't stray away from that list. Don't see the Oreos for $2 and go buy the Oreos.
Stay focused on that, on your
for sure.
Yeah. Go ahead and get into that second card.
Awesome, let's do it.
Let's see what's under number 2.
So, gray one.
Yeah, great one.
Luckily, these are like not red and green or anything like that.
Okay.
What's the most important thing life has taught you so far? Damn, these are getting deeper.
Right? It's a real thing. These are real. Who would have thought to ask that question?
I mean,
in person with anybody else.
Yeah, like I said, the 100 pennies when the 4 quarters might, but
That's a huge thing. I've got some weird things that life has taught me.
I love it.
It kind of goes back to the friendship for one. It's weird, but the regular relationships don't matter. With girls, like in high school or whatever, and B with like just the friends. Have all the friends you want. Explore with all of the groups and cliques and find the friends that you fit in with. But in the end, like once you get to our age, you're only gonna have like I talked to maybe 3 people who I went to high school with.
Right.
3 out of 700 plus.
In
It
your
was
class or school?
700 in the school,
Wow.
200 in the class, but I didn't really hang out with people in my class anyway.
Right.
But there's one guy who's my best friend, Logan, also my best friend, and one girl who I still talk to as like she's also one of my best friends too, who I still talk to regularly, who know what's going on in my life, who know my plan. 2, like. I would love to go back to town and see some friends out at the bar or somewhere like the high school reunion or something like that. It'd be great to see them, and I'd love to catch up with them again. But they're not like in my life at all. And same with college. I went to college with 5,000 kids in our school.
Yeah. Didn't feel like it.
In our university, and I regularly talk to. Besides the golf group chat, 6 people?
Yeah.
You included?
Yeah.
Like, it's like, make all the friends, have fun, have a lot of groups to go with. But in the end, it's going to be, you're going to talk to 6 people. You're going to make deep connections, lasting connections with like, and as they move on too, you're all going to move on. You move on, they move on. You just get distant, and just time gets by, and you don't think about it, and you don't wish them happy birthday anymore, and you don't wish them Merry Christmas or anything. How many Christmas cards do you send out? Maybe 10. How many? How many holiday cards do you send out to the family and maybe to a couple of friends just to see the evolution of their kids and that sort of thing?
Right.
Also, how many do you receive? Again, besides family. Maybe 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Like, so you're that friend in their life to 3 or 4 people. Like, it's you need to go through the hard times of life. You need to have that to grow. But it doesn't matter. It shapes you in the end, but mainly it's just a learning experience. So you should try everything and fail and learn from it. And fall down and get back up and swing and miss a couple of times. And
sign a wrong scorecard.
Life, what did you say? Sign the wrong. But you learn from that, right? So we can talk about it later if we want to. It's a longer story, but it's nothing. I don't know. Everything just goes away. Everything fades except for those long-lasting relationships and connections that you have with the few friends. So I would say this is a long rant on what life has taught me, but like make a couple of strong bonds, strong connections, and don't worry about anything else.
Right.
Don't worry if that person doesn't like you. They probably don't know you. A lot of people I think don't like me, but a lot of people don't know me.
No one cares about you.
I don't like a lot of people either.
Yeah,
they don't. A lot of people don't care. A lot of people don't. I think a lot of people don't like me. Oh, I don't like a lot of people either. But I also don't know a lot of people.
Right.
I don't take the time. I'm sure I would like everyone if I took the time to get to know them. But I just don't have the mental capacity to become best friends with everybody. You know.
No, I get that.
Sorry, that was a very long rant about life, but. Do you have anything to add, or
no? I think what's great on that aspect is definitely like you said, people you can have close just make you better.
Yeah.
But you got to make yourself better first. So I guess I'd kind of go with like what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Where like you can't pour into a glass what's not full in yours.
Right.
And so like when it comes to mental health and anxiety, like you really can't. Or like happiness. If you're not happy, people are going to see that and you can't try to give someone else happiness.
Right. So the other thing that I was going to say is go with the flow, follow the energy, follow the vibe. Not everything has to be planned out. You can just go with the flow and see where the world takes you.
100%.
It doesn't have to be like, this is the plan I had set out for myself and this is what I have to do. You can go on a whim. You can just go on vacations and learn. one of the biggest learning experiences I ever had was this trip to Hawaii that I took last year. And from that, I've learned so much about myself. I got so introspective, and I learned so much about myself and my mental health and what I really care about. And on a Hawaiian vacation, I learned all this crazy stuff because I just went and followed the energy and just went where the night took me.
Right.
I didn't say no to stuff. It wasn't like Yes Man, the movie Yes Man, but it was just go. Don't say no and just try it.
Yeah.
Don't say no because you're like, I don't know if I'll like it. Like I don't know if that'll be fun. Go anyway. I didn't know if your flag football game was gonna be fun. It was awesome.
Yeah.
It was so much fun. We won by a lot. I played, which doesn't make sense, but I did. It was like, I'm not going to say no to anything.
Right.
I'm here to learn. I'm here to have fun. I'm here to learn about the city. I'm here to check out the vibes and I'm here for 5 days. Let's do whatever. I'm not going to sit around and be like, I don't think that's going to be fun. I don't want to do that.
No, 100%.
Do everything. And if it does end up not being fun, well, we learned that that's not very fun. So next time.
Yeah, exactly. No, I mean, like, get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Really push yourself to do stuff that you think you might not enjoy because you probably will enjoy it. Or if you don't, then you know exactly what you're not supposed to do.
That's such a cliche, but it's so true.
No,
it's very much like just get yourself to that uncomfortable limit and just sit there.
Right.
Just embrace the uncomfort. Don't make yourself like freak out or panic attack or anything like that, but like just get to the edge of uncomfortable and just embrace what's there. And then go one more step the next day.
Right.
And then go a little bit further the next day. And now you're cliff jumping in Hawaii, or now you're flying to Denver on a whim, or buying concert tickets on a whim, or whatever. Like going to a Rockies game mid fourth inning.
Yeah,
like,
that was fun.
It's just go. It doesn't like just go with the energy.
Always be learning. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't like the Rockies. I don't not like them. I don't care about baseball teams. I like watching baseball. I like sports.
Yeah.
I like hanging out. I don't care about the A's. I don't care about the Rockies. Also, when I was in Seattle, we went to a Mariners game, and it was Mariners and A's again.
Yeah.
So turns out I'm
baseball
an A's fan.
team. Yeah. Worst baseball team is yours.
I'm an Oakland fan, but it's just go. It's fun. Like just go. Don't be like, I don't like these teams. I don't want to go. No, just go.
No, 100%.
Just go.
Do it. Just do it. No, like on that, I feel like, yeah, like get comfortable being uncomfortable is cliche as hell, but it's definitely true. Like I know like the big thing is like college orientation.
Yeah.
You're uncomfortable. Everyone else in that room is uncomfortable too. You got to like understand that. Like
Yeah.
reach out to people you don't think you'd like actually enjoy.
Yeah.
I played kickball. Didn't think I was going to like it back in DC. I met some of the best friends I had in DC out there.
Yeah.
And like I flew a plane. I didn't think I was ever going to fly a plane. I've done rock climbing. I've done all this that I don't think I was actually going to do, but I've done.
Yeah.
And it just like makes more memories, either good or bad.
Experiences. Yeah.
Yeah, experiences. And that's like different topic, but experiences over gifts. Like I'd rather go on a trip with my
Yes,
family for
absolutely.
Christmas than.
So that was part of my trip to Hawaii. So thankfully that I have these aunts, the aunt and uncle that I have, and the family that I have. Absolutely. They gift every college graduate it's a trick question. It's a, what's it called? I don't know. It's a trick question. They say you can either go on a trip wherever you want to go. We'll pay for it. Or we'll give you $1,000 or a gift of $1,000. Like if you need something if you just need to pay rent, we'll pay rent for a month. If you just need financial help, we can help you.
Yeah.
If you want a thing like a fancy guitar or whatever, that's $1,000. You can pick that too. But it's a trick. The trick is you're supposed to take the trip.
Yeah.
Because the trip will get you so many more memories and experiences and just life lessons, like it did for me, than any object or paying for rent will ever get you.
You'd forget about rent next month.
Will ever get you.
Yeah.
And you'll forget how, they helped me out for a month. Cool, thanks.
Yeah.
No, was a life-changing, all of the events surrounding this trip was a life-changing event for me.
Yeah.
And everyone has noticed it. And it was now I'm a world traveler. And I just travel everywhere now. So it was absolutely one of the best things I had. So the trick to that, is it a double something, a two? Anyway, the trick question to that like gift for graduating college is that it's supposed to be a trip.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be an experience. And I'm very, very, very thankful for them to have allowed me to do that. So
No, I mean that's perfect. Yeah, like I told my parents, I was like, I'd rather buy like plane tickets, go to the Dominican Republic, do something fun, rather than you buy me like a nice pair of jeans.
Yeah,
because I'll forget about the jeans once I rip them or something.
I mean, there's a little bit different pricing there between your jeans.
Well, yeah,
and your Dominican Republic trip.
Yeah, exactly. You guys pay from now.
But it's like, but I know what you're saying. Like, do you want like your Christmas gifts? Do you want stuff, or do you want your Christmas gift to be like your trip to Hawaii? Or Dominican Republic or Puerto Rico or Africa or Bali or wherever you're going. Like, so if you can negotiate that with your family and be like, hey, whatever you were going to spend on me for gifts, don't ever do that. Because the best gift you could possibly give me is this experience that I'm never going to be able to get up myself.
Right. And I think to answer that question, I feel like we kind of had the same answer. Like the experiences thing and all that we just talked about. But I think the biggest thing that I've learned is the grass is greener where you water it. I know I'm using all these cliches, but I've always been like, oh, I'm anxious. Like life isn't good right now. It'll get better when. And then when takes longer because I'm not doing anything to actually make it better. Right. And
so you're saying you have to put effort into
put effort into the things you want to grow. Like I knew like, oh, like life's gonna get better when I graduate college. And so I did nothing the last 3 months of, I guess, COVID kind of f***ed up. But all of that stuff were, like you just got to make the most out of the moment. The future will come, but you got to make the future what you want it to be. You can't just let it happen.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you might disagree with this, but back when you first moved out here, because you went Denver, DC, Denver, right?
Denver, like 4 months, DC a year, and then here.
So when you moved out to Denver, you moved out here with a girl and her family, and it was good. It was a good relationship. It was fine. It was whatever. Sorry to bring this up.
No, you're totally fine.
And then it went sideways, and you guys split up, and now you're just stuck in Denver because you just followed her.
Yeah.
And you're like, I don't know what to do. And it was like a 3-year relationship. So it was a long relationship.
Like that,
It was a long relationship.
Yeah.
Very meaningful. And so you were tore up. I'm not gonna be blunt about it. You were tore up a bit.
No,
you were shaken up. You were kind of lost in the world. Like I moved here for you, and you broke up with stuff. We moved in with your family, and now I'm just stuck now. What do I do? So you up and moved in with your sister, and so you found a place in DC.
Yeah.
Washington, DC. And during all of that, you might disagree, but I feel like I helped push you quite a bit to go, I know like you need to fill your mental space. You need to go do stuff. You need to go work out. You need to go get outdoors. You're in a great place for outdoors
100%.
In DC and Denver now. Go biking, go mountain climbing, join a gym, join a spin class, go to hot yoga, go be around people, go make new friends, go make a group, go be outdoors in the wilderness, go climbing, go hiking, go cycling. Just keep your mind occupied. Otherwise, you're just going to sit there and fester.
Yeah.
You're just going to sit there and be just grumpy or upset until you actually go and do something, until you actually like change your behavior. So you actually go push yourself and get uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You're just going to sit there and sulk.
No, I mean, you're spot on.
I'm sure a lot of other people told you to do that too. Just like that business didn't need my marketing advice. I'm sure they were on their way there anyway. But I think I helped make the push in your
there was
state at that point.
Multiple phone calls we had, especially when I moved out to DC, where you did push me. But yeah, like I moved out here, broke up, moved out of our place, hated my job, hated everything. I remember for like a week, I was just calling my parents every day and be like, hey, like I need to get out of here.
I don't know what to do.
And they're like, okay, then why are you still there?
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, I feel like I should be. And they're like, no, you should be where, like, what would make you happier.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I was like, I'm not going back to Iowa. I don't want to go back to Iowa. That'd just be like a step back. I don't know if it would have been, but sisters both moved out to DC. So I would have had 2 family members. That was the big thing I was missing out here was family or friends. I didn't meet anyone. And so, yeah, like I didn't have a job though. So I was kind of just sitting in my bedroom playing video games where started doing biking stuff, started getting outside, started meeting people. I know it was during COVID, so it was tough to meet people, but trying to find like-minded people and also find stuff that I didn't know I was going to enjoy. Like I mean, no one goes biking in Iowa, or if they do, they hate themselves. But in DC, everyone does, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah. There's a lot less to look at when you're biking around in Iowa.
Yeah.
You kind of have to go to a certain place to bike ride in Iowa.
I mean, DC, I could bike to any monument I want.
Exactly. You go monuments, you go to parks, you go along the water, you go to a lake, you go like there's just stuff to do.
Right.
And I feel like that's just not available where I'm at.
Yeah.
Like you have to go out of town to a spot to find that, I guess. But yeah.
No, 100%.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say 100% agree. Like,
let's see what's under card number 3.
For sure. Getting very deep.
Getting deeper.
What is one thing you would change about society? Ooh, that's a fun question.
Another interesting question.
Yeah.
Oh, what would you change about society?
It's funny because the first thing I was gonna say is like social media. I don't want to. I deleted Twitter, whatever it's called now, and like I'll still get on. Like I didn't delete my account, so like someone will send me something like, "Hey, you gotta go check this out."
Yeah.
But like social media, man, it sucks.
I've done that. I haven't done that. I've intended to take off all the social media off my phone.
Yeah.
So you can still access it. Go to Instagram.com. You can still log in. Go to Facebook.com. You can still log in.
It's just more effort, so you don't want to do it.
You're just not scrolling. It just takes way more effort to get onto social media, to get into Instagram, and if you're scrolling, you're like scrolling the web. And you're sitting there, and it's just different than sitting in bed scrolling Instagram or whatever. Like, take it off your phone. I know this doesn't mean anything about society, but like, what did somebody say today? They said,
where was this at?
We were playing when we were getting dinner. We were playing. They were going to the flag football game, and the person didn't know like all the rules, flag football, or like everything about it. They wanted to contribute. They wanted to be a part of it. So they looked up like how-to videos, like rule videos, or like just videos of flag football on TikTok.
Yeah.
To learn. So they didn't go to Google. They didn't go to YouTube for like a 7-minute long video. They went to TikTok for 45 seconds and just watched all the flag football videos on TikTok.
No, I mean,
so how did TikTok become the learning space? I don't know.
Dude, it's disgusting. Instant gratification is disgusting.
Yeah.
People watching, like, someone will send me like a video at work. I'll speed it up to like 2 seconds or two times.
Yeah.
Just so I don't have to watch it. And like it's everyone doesn't live in the moment. They just like are so excited. Like that's honestly the like biggest thing.
Yeah.
You're not living in the moment. You're at a concert. I've probably seen more concerts. It's more of concerts through someone else's Snapchat or Instagram video than I've actually seen of actual concerts because everyone's on their phone. Like, to get the golf nerd in me, like the Masters, they don't allow you to have your phone. That is the coolest thing ever.
That is the best. And a lot of comedy events and concerts are doing what's called yonder bags. Are you familiar with this?
Mm-mm.
So they give you they lock up your device in this bag that the yonder people have the key to. So you can they lock it up when you go into the venue, and when you leave the venue, they will unlock your phone and you can have it back. You keep your device the whole time around your neck or in your pocket or in your purse, but it's in this bag that's locked, so you don't get to use it. You can't use it. It's in like a black bag, so like you can't even like see through it to scroll through it. And then if you want to use it, you can get up and go to like the bathroom or out if you need to make a phone call to your babysitter or something.
Yeah.
And you go out, they'll unlock it, you use your phone, you come back in, they'll lock it back up. So like you're not stuck. I don't want to say stuck. I don't want it to be connotation, but your full attention is on this experience and not like, oh, they're between musicians, so for 5 minutes, so I'll scroll the Instagram.
No, yeah, I get that.
You have to be there. You have to absorb. You have to communicate with people about the show. And if you need to make a phone call, if you need to check your blood sugar, if you need to whatever, you just go outside, they'll unlock it, you use it, you come back in.
Yeah.
You're not, it's not, and you still have it. It's not like you're missing something. It's not like somebody's stealing it. You still have it, but they lock it up so you don't get to use it.
Yeah. I mean, it's wild. I always like ask myself, like, how do people live
Before phones.
before phones?
Before the internet.
And everyone in my family that's older than me lived without phones. So like they made it work. Yeah, things are easier now, but stuff's not easier.
Yeah. What do you say we get into that last part? Unless, well, what do you have to change about society or culture?
No, I would just say like the instant gratification.
Yeah.
People are so short-term focused, so they don't see the long-term. Like it comes to like investments and stuff. Like the finance side of things, people are always short-term. It's easier because you're like, oh, it's my money. I want it now. The 7 cash now.
JG Wentworth.
JG Wentworth. I couldn't think of that. And so yeah, like just people need to like just relax, live in the moment, be more patient, and happen. Buff.
Buff. Let's see what's on that third card. Last card. Wild card.
Sure. Play the song that has the biggest impact on you and explain its significance. Damn. I mean, like WAP. I want to say WAP.
Because of YouTube's rules, we are not gonna play the song, but we can say the song.
No, I'm not gonna actually do WAP.
No, I'm just saying.
Yeah, I got you. Ooh, that's a tough question.
Think now. Back to what we were saying. I pulled my phone out to look for songs, and my instinct pulled up Instagram. My muscle memory went to Instagram, and I just started like looking at my messages.
Just turn off all notifications for social medias, and it's the best thing in your life.
You need to just delete it off your phone. You can still get on it. You can still post from your computer, but I need to just delete that off my phone.
Song that had the biggest impact. It's funny because like songs have like, or especially artists.
Art in general.
No, I mean like artists have like impacts on me.
Yeah.
Like
do that. Riff off of that. It doesn't have to be the exact question.
So like growing up, my dad would listen to like classical rock in the car. I mean, I would listen to I mean, no one knows what Z1 2.9 is, but it's a Cedar Rapids like today's hits. So I'd listen to that with my mom. So I kind of got like a good taste of music, or a broad taste of music. I don't know if good's the right word. And then Abby, my sister, she's very talented, so she'd always be playing music and everything.
Yes, that's another thing. We'll get into that in a second. Go on.
Do it. No, so I mean, I feel like a lot of music has impacted me in different ways. Like I used to say country was the worst music genre, and that's probably what I play the most. But I remember John Mayer Trio. I just like played that album for probably too many years in a row. But like it was, I feel like everyone in my family liked that. So like my sister moved out to college. I missed her. I'd play that. Road trips, played John Mayer and his one album from John Mayer Trio. If I had to pick like a song, I feel like "Say" by him is pretty good. But then like Post Malone dropped some really good songs. Country music always has like an impact. Like country music, I feel like it puts me in the vibe or the feeling for like summer.
Yeah.
And so like windows down, rolling down the music, like just blaring the music. That's like the go-to. And then like winter comes and you start listening to like
emo and sad songs.
Yeah, you're like, I just want to be outside, man. So yeah, I feel like I don't know. I joke. I probably, if you looked at my phone right now, I'm the over-under of Spotify playlists that I have that I've created is like 40.
You have so many playlists on Spotify.
It's disgusting.
I think I have 10, which I feel like is a lot because I don't even get to them a lot. But I know you have like any possible mood. You have like
happy. One of them just called "Suh." I don't know. Post Malone country. Like there's so much random stuff. But
Post Malone does cover.
That's a tough question. But I would say John Mayer Trio. His like that album, that genre of him. Sometimes Biebs gets me in the feelings. Post Malone, I feel like, is where we found one of our instant connections when we got to school.
Yeah, you and I vibe off of Post Malone. We just go on drives and just play Post Malone albums.
Yeah.
Back to back to back. It's not an artist necessarily. I mean, they are, but like they're anyway. It's a band, a group called Two Cellos.
Heck yeah.
It's a weird. Are you familiar with it?
Yeah.
Okay. So they do instrumental cello covers of both classical and or renditions, I should say, of classical and pop or rock or whatever music. But it's just them playing cello and like a drummer, but there's no lyrics, there's no singing, there's no it's just like it's such a energy boost for something. Like it starts there. So there's one video in particular, and there's a reason why this is coming up. Well, this is my answer for this. There's a reason. There's one video in particular where they start out they're in the what's the Colosseum in Greece? The Colosseum in Greece.
Yeah.
They're playing in the Colosseum in Greece with like it's sold out, like it's packed, and they start out with playing classical music, and it's just very soothing, and they have this choreographed so well.
Right.
And then it goes to like for like 15 minutes, it's just soothing, calming, classical. It's amazing. And then it goes into like a little bit more energy, some Coldplay, some like U2, just some songs that people know and the crowd sings to. It's like brings them some energy, and then it goes into like Thunderstruck and like high energy rock songs and like Michael Jackson, and just it's this high energy like cello. It's an instrumental, but there's so much energy and so much going on that you just get you get going. Like
100%.
So all through college, if I was writing a paper, if I was studying, if I had a deadline I had to push for, all through college, if I had a deadline, I would pop that in the headphones. It's a 1-hour concert, so I'd pop that in the headphones on replay, and I'd just write papers, and I'd study, and I'd get presentations done. And I'm just sitting in the library, like jamming out, and everyone's thinking I'm having like a stroke or something. And it's just I'm just vibing to this music. Like it's the best if you're trying to get like some housework done, if you're trying to anything.
No, I know what they mean.
So great.
I know what you mean about the stroke, because you would be in the car just like,
dude, if I get into the zone and just like start head bobbing and start going, I just get lost, and I don't realize I'm doing it. Like I did it in the car today.
Yeah.
It's like we didn't talk for like 40 minutes. I was just sitting in the car, just vibe into the zone. We don't need to talk. We're just bonding or communicating through body language over the music. Like I'm not sitting there arms crossed, like taking a nap no, we're just sitting there like just silently enjoying the tunes.
you know, I guess it in a negative impact.
Because we both know those friends who, if they get in a car, they just cross their arms and they go to sleep until they get to wherever they're going.
Yeah.
And they don't interact. They don't want to interact. They don't want to listen to the radio. They just want to take a nap. And it's like,
Fuck naps, first of all, but second of all,
No.
negative impact.
naps are awesome.
I can't.
And everyone needs. That's what I'm changing about society, is that we should embrace people taking naps more. It's not for babies. It's not for kindergartners. Sometimes people get tired and they just need an extra hour. Just give me an hour to decompress and reset and just get my energy back. And that'll be good.
See, I'm just like, I don't want to waste that time.
You just like to grind through it. And I'm like, I need a nap right now.
People hate me for that. But no, I would say for the music thing, the negative impact, and I think you can agree with this, is just Big Booty Remix.
You don't like that?
No, it's because it starts the same way every time. I can't, like, if I go, like, yeah, I mean, it starts the same way. I mean, they have different ones, but like,
Yeah.
it would not come out for like another month or so. So like every Thursday, Friday, Saturday night, you would literally just play the same Big Booty Remix for months straight.
Now, I think they're great.
They are good, but like,
a lot of people love them, and they are high energy, hour-long mixes of pop songs and rap songs, and just like with funny ad libs in between, like just random like lines from a show or like anything.
well, so it's like, to me, it's like just
it's overplayed right now.
It's not overplayed. It's just like, after I've listened to it once, I don't need to listen to it again because I can't shuffle it. Like shuffle is the greatest thing, and then you showed me the blending of the two songs.
Yeah, where it overlaps like for 7 seconds.
Dude, that's like those two things. Like, I can't listen to a playlist like top to bottom, because then if I do it again, I'm like, no, I don't want to know what's coming next.
Will you listen to an album 1 to 10?
the first time, and then I have to
Right
remix it.
Really?
Because like I feel like Kid Cudi, some other albums, like they really have a story with the songs.
Yeah.
But after I've heard like the story, I like the feeling of a surprise.
Yeah.
So like
sometimes they're like a lot of artists assemble that album in an order for a reason.
and I'll appreciate it once.
Yeah, that's fine.
See, like the Post Malone, like Morgan Wallen album that I have that I've probably listened to the most.
Yeah.
I don't know if Post Malone or
Playlist.
Country Song or Kid Cudi or
You don't know what's coming up.
Kanye's coming up. Like I don't know what's coming up next, and it's kind of enjoying.
Yeah.
Like the worst thing, and this is like an anxiety thing, is like I'll be aux and I'll have like 20 songs queued up.
Yeah.
And like 30 seconds into a song, I'm like, oh, I'm really excited for the next one.
Yeah,
Let's
skip.
play it.
Yeah.
And people are like, just stick with a song like that. The DJs at every bar here, I feel like have that problem where they're like,
That happened a lot last night where like he only played the like most popular part of every chorus and then skipped to the next one and then skipped like the DJ blend it, but like he only played 15 seconds of each song.
yeah,
He didn't play like from one chorus to the next and then like a minute of a song. He played 15 seconds of every song and just spun to the next one and just mixed in the next. And it was like, come on,
it's horrible
this is bad. Like we want to vibe. We want to vibe out.
for more than 15 seconds of a good song.
Yeah.
And that's definitely my problem. So that's why Big Booty Remix is good to listen to once. But when I hear the same start in the first, I know exactly what's coming up next. And I'm in my room or downstairs hanging out with people. Can't do it, man.
I'll listen to them once or twice when they first come out. Like when the next one comes out, I'll listen to it. It's a good. What they make is good.
It's not bad.
But
Like I'm not saying
can't listen to that as your like. Oh, this is my workout mix. Like you're listening to the same. It's like watching the same movie over and over and over and over again.
right.
Like you know what's coming, and maybe that's a good thing for you. Maybe because you know what song is next, that's great, and you can like sing along to it and like I don't know, but sometimes you just want to be surprised.
Yeah.
Like I don't know.
No, I mean like the new addition to Spotify where they're like similar songs you might like.
Yeah.
I literally like love that
Yeah.
thing.
The discovery, like you can do shuffle of like your playlist,
Yeah.
and then you can do shuffle discovery,
Yeah.
where it like mixes in
Like every third
other
song or something like
mixing
that,
a
yeah.
new song similar to what you're listening to in this playlist.
It knows it better than I know. It
And
knows
I think
myself.
it's really because it'll bring in artists that you don't that are very similar to what you're listening to, similar sound, similar vibe, but a different artist, a new song.
Right.
I've discovered a lot of my music that way.
Yeah. I mean it's probably the thing I'm most thankful for. Screw you, Dad.
So your sister,
Yeah.
Abby, is an artist, is a musician,
Mhm.
is a
She's a singer in a band and then she does stuff on her own.
yeah. How was that? How did that come about? Now, I would love to have her on if she sees this, if we can ever arrange that. I would love to get into like music and artists and art in general. That'd be great. Rather than just being my friends. But anyway, how like from your perspective, how was growing up with that? How did that come about? How does that change your family dynamic, I guess?
For sure.
all.
So I'd say my sisters are very creative, both of them.
Yeah.
My oldest sister Macy and we both really got heavily into the sports scene, the competitive scene.
Yeah.
And Abby was just like talented, super talented, really good singer, really good piano player. She played the flute and hated it, but she was really good at it too. But she could literally like hear a song on the radio wherever and then just play it.
Wow, play by ear.
And it was just disgusting seeing that creative side because I was like, I want to be able to do that, but I can't.
Wow. So, yeah, how did that? Abby was a musician growing up, played by ear. Does that change your family dynamic at all?
No, I mean,
Was there some focus that was put on her that wasn't put on the other members of your family, you or your other sister?
she
Do you
was
feel
definitely.
like she was? Let's get deep. Do you feel like she was like the main focus of your family because she was a large artist and had a audience? I guess I don't know.
Well, that's actually like funny. I've never actually been kind of asked that. But so Macy, she's 8 years older than me. Abby's 4. So like Abby growing up, I think was known as Macy's little sister.
Yeah.
She real quickly like, popular is the wrong word. She was very popular in school. Like she was our homecoming queen.
Abby or Macy?
Abby.
Okay.
Abby like got homecoming queen.
Good for her.
She was doing really well for like singing. She was in show choir. She crushed it. And so real quickly, like when I got to school, I was known as Abby's little brother. People
Yep.
don't even know who Macy was at that point. I think it's just like time frame too. Like no one was
Yeah.
a teacher for more than 8 years at our school.
Right.
And so yeah, I feel like she was more of the creative side, and she loved it. So like, she was really good at piano. I took piano lessons. I wasn't as good as her. I hated it,
Yeah.
and I was like, I'm done with music. But no, she's a really good singer. So she really taught me like a lot of different music types.
Yeah.
She did stuff on her side by herself. Did really good with that. She would sing national anthems.
I saw that she sang the national anthem at the Washington Nationals game.
She
right?
did it for like stuff at Iowa.
A couple of them.
Yeah, so she did it for a couple of them. She did one at the national championship for swimming and diving.
Wow. Okay.
That was at the University of Iowa, I believe.
Cool.
And so yeah, she was very, very talented. Iowa should just hire her full time because I think she did 5 basketball games and they're 5-0 with her. So
That is a record.
that is. So she hasn't lost. But no, so like she did that, and it just like made me stick more with sports, I would say.
Do your own thing. Let her be the music star. Do
Yeah.
your own sports thing.
And my mom's likes music as well. My dad likes music, but my grandma, she was like in this show called Folly, so she got into theater. She was a singer.
Wow.
She sang at church. And so she was like kind of what Abby would try to like. She had more in common with my grandma that way.
Yeah.
And yeah, she like opened for Dea when Dea was big. Sit Still and Look Pretty, that girl.
Yeah.
So that was cool. And now she has her own band and she's crushing it. So
Yeah. Yeah. I see her stuff. I follow her on Instagram. I see her stuff on Instagram all the time. She's awesome. She's
Yeah.
cool. She's super cool.
Abby Sevcik,
I don't know.
mystery friend, shout out.
Anything about her, but she's super cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, we had a joke. I was gonna play a joke on you in college and like buy some of her merch, like a poster or like a T-shirt or something, and like we'll just wear it around and be like,
Pretend like-
this? I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Like, this is my favorite artist, dude. And you're like, that's my sister.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's my
sorry.
sister, dude.
But
That's funny.
I wanted to. I never did. I thought about it, but I didn't follow through, obviously. But yeah, so in the future, I have this plan in my head that might not ever work out. As I just said, don't have plans in life. For this show, I want to get into like local musicians, like people who just like perform. I say musicians? Yeah, musicians. I almost said magicians. Those two. I want to get like local musicians who like sing and play guitar or whatever, and get them on the show and hear their experience. Like people who travel around the country playing music and opening for people and single like nights at a bar for $50 or for food versus opening for somebody for $1,000 or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I want to hear that story. I want to hear someone who actually has like, and go listen to their stuff, link in bio type of thing.
Help the
Link in
like the
description.
beginners, the people who,
Yeah. Starting small and
Yeah.
then going up into like bigger musicians.
Yeah.
But like,
I mean, it's like the whole like working for a corporation. You're not helping Amazon. You're helping 10 different businesses
Right.
grow.
right.
And that's the most exciting thing to me. So I think that'd be like awesome.
I want to bring their audience to my show by having them on, and I want to bring my audience to listen to their music
Right.
and
Win-win.
merge that way.
Win-win for both.
But I don't know if that's going to happen. We'll see. We might stop at episode 5. Probably not. But
And
we'll,
I'm episode 6.
but yeah. What do you think of the game? The card game?
I really like it.
The recommendation we had, Eric and I had before, was if you move to a new place, a new city, if you are going to school, if you're going to college, going away to college, I think that's a great thing to have of like, even if it's not like, let's play a game where we ask deep questions. If it's just like something that the person can read and then think of like, oh, I could ask it this way.
right.
Like we went play a song that was meaningful to you, and we went to just artist. What's your favorite artist?
Yeah.
But it gets your brain on like, oh, we're on music now.
Yeah.
Oh, we're on what's your favorite movie? Oh, we're on something bad in society that you want to change. Oh, we're like just different like ways of thinking that you might not get to normally.
No, I mean, it definitely like helps you open up more.
Yeah.
It asks questions that you probably don't answer yourself. Like one of the biggest things that I loved at Growth was when we onboarded a client, we'd have a growth call and it was an hour long, and we would ask like deep questions like, how did you grow up? What was money to you? What was this?
Yeah.
Does your partner have the same view as the future for you? Like for your business? How's your life? Like how does this tie into your life?
Yeah.
And like you go to like a general accountant, they're like, here's your numbers, here what they should be, get there. And we're like, no, like your business, you might want your business to get to the point where you're making X amount of dollars. Like, let's just say I want to have $150,000 every year come into my like bank account. And we get you to that point, and now we're just trying to sustain you. Well, some other people are like, I want to sell my business yesterday. We help you figure out how you're going to sell your business tomorrow.
Yeah.
And like, we really work with the client to make sure that we're not just giving them cookie cutter advice. We're actually working with them to get them a plan that they're excited about. Because if they're not excited about it, there's no point in doing it.
Right. Well, nice. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Yeah.
You are absolutely one of my best friends.
Same back.
And I'm having so much fun in Denver, Colorado.
I'll help you move out.
I'll look. I'll at least look into some places, look at some apartments and some houses, and I'll look. I won't be like, no, dude, I'm not doing it. I'll look. It's a fun place. I like it here. It's cool.
Just get out of Iowa for a bit.
Even
Wherever
if it's
it may
for
be.
a year. Just come out here and struggle for a year and then move back.
Yeah.
Go explore. Thank you. I love you.
Love you too, man. I appreciate you.
Right. Thanks for watching. We're going to get into the music segment. So go listen on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts. Bye-bye.
Cheers.